Alright, so we're back and going to try and finish this up real fast because honestly, there's two more parts to solder in there. No reason not to do it. Although, admittedly, this part is three, four, five, six, like it's 16 solders. So, like, that will take a second. But we're almost done. My phone died on me. That's why the video cut out real weird. I don't generally like doing part twos, but I also don't do video editing. So here we are. I was saying, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but for some reason, those LEDs did not want to take solder. I don't know if I was getting it too hot, not hot enough, or what. I ended up deciding to just use the LEDs that were in the kit, just because they were there, and my LEDs were 10 foot to the left. But so you have right here, and it's printed as no, but I'm going to assume that that is supposed to be for the on, and I'm solder it in that direction. That just slots in right there, and then you're good to go. So I'll get this soldered in and be right back. Alright, now I got those all soldered in. Let me get my and I turned the temp back up to 720. I turned it down to 710 on the LEDs, thinking maybe I had it too hot. But I noticed on this it was starting to do the same thing, so I turned it up. But then also, I think I maybe just had my chisel tip angled a little bit, and so it wasn't hitting the pad quite the way it needed to. So I angled that down a little bit more, and I held it there about a second after I melted the solder, and I could see when it would finally like flow down into the solder joint. And honestly, some of the better soldering I've done. So, like, definitely the best soldering I've done on this board. So, I did something right. And now the only thing left to put in is this little barrel jack that it wants 5 volts through. And I've got my little I've got my little variable bench top that I can have it send 5 volts through. The other thing somebody suggested to me is if I take just like an old USB cable, I could cut that and I could put a barrel jack on the end of that and use it. Only problem there is that would only ever give me 5 volts. I'm not sure how many things that I'm going to have that's going to be 5 volt, so I'll probably use the variable. I could also, I guess, just hardwire something to this, which I have the little USB recharger things. So I'm thinking what I might do, if I care enough about having this, is put one of those recharging circuits on it, even without a battery. That way I can just plug it into a regular USB-C cable, and that would give it the 5 volts. Or just, considering I'll probably not really run this a lot, I might just use my bench top and call that good. That's why I built it. Um, so yeah, I'll get that soldered in, find my bench top, and then the end of this video will be it turning on for the first time. So if I succeeded or failed, you guys will get to see it. Alright, so there's my little variable bench top. Got it set up for 5.19 volts because that's where the thing landed. Go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Alright, nothing turned on, so that means I didn't put the dip switch in wrong or upside down. Let's nothing turned on. Alright, I'm gonna flip these up real fast and see if any of them will turn on. Okay, so 2 and 3 did turn on. 5 turned on for like a split second and then went off. Then 3 stopped turning on. 2 is the only one that will turn on. And I'm left wondering if maybe it's just bad soldering on there. I know there's no, but like that one's soldered pretty well. So I don't know. Well, I did some testing and it was just some kind of bad solder jobs. So I had to do a little bit of rework, and now they all work. So that is the Ohm's Law board, fully put together, and a little bit of troubleshooting as a bonus.